Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a full tutorial on setting up Big Box, which I have a sample of my original StarCade playlist 1.0 on the left hand side, where I made custom playlists and video snaps for my version of my front end build for my Star Wars Arcade 1-Up mod. On the right hand side you see LaunchBox, and I did a full tutorial earlier that you should check out in the link below on how to set up LaunchBox for the first time, add and import a game, set up an emulator. So once you've done all the importing of your games and systems into the LaunchBox front end, today we're going to talk all about how to set up this Big Box front end on the left. So stay tuned, and I'll also be sharing a 1.5 version of my StarCade playlist in the links below, so you can grab some of the videos that I've made and you can set up this exact same playlist on your PC as well. So the first thing you need to know in order to use LaunchBox is a premium LaunchBox license. You can see this is the free version that you see here, and you can actually use most of the features and everything that you see absolutely free through the LaunchBox interface. But when you try to go into the Big Box menu, it'll ask Big Box mode is only available in LaunchBox Premium. So click on yes, it'll take you to the LaunchBox website where you can purchase that premium license. And here's all the information about what LaunchBox Premium is. There are several different purchase options. There's the regular license, the Forever Updates license, or if you purchased an old one, you can renew and upgrade your license as well. So here's a quick breakdown. If you like LaunchBox and want to test it out, I recommend getting this $30 regular license. This will give you that premium Big Box license, and you can use it forever. However, you'll only be able to update to newer versions of LaunchBox within the first year that you purchase it. So I've had LaunchBox for about maybe the last 6 months, and in that time frame, they've maybe had about 4 to 5 different releases of updates that they've done to the system. It doesn't really impact Big Box mode that much, but the LaunchBox backend interface did change and update, made it a little bit easier. The Forever Updates license is $75, and then in the future you can upgrade to the newest version of LaunchBox whenever you want to. I believe they're at LaunchBox 11.6 at the time of this video, and if you're going to use it for multiple arcade machines, it might be worth it for you, but I recommend the $30 one. It's worth it to try it out. You can always upgrade later using this. When you're ready to purchase your license, just click on one of these blue buttons here. It's going to ask for your email, name, and address, and just be aware whatever name you put into this field here is going to be what shows up in this LaunchBox section up here, as well as inside of your Big Box build. So you may want to just do your first name dot initial, just put whatever nickname you might have in here, because it is going to show up in your build in your front end as well. Once you actually finish purchasing, you're going to be able to get a link to download the license.xml file and an email copy of it, and it's going to download and show up like this, license.xml. So this is a copy of a license example. If you open it up, what's inside, it's your contact information and the signature that's really uniquely tied to your account. So don't share this with anybody else. There's specific information in here, but let's go over where you're going to put it once you have it downloaded onto your desktop. Alright, wherever you have your LaunchBox folder, I have mine set to a dedicated F drive partition on my desktop, and this is my LaunchBox folder. So this is where everything is set up. All you need to do is drag this license.xml file into your LaunchBox folder, and it's just going to show up in the same section where your launchbox.exe is. So once you do that and you relaunch your LaunchBox, right now it says free version. So if I close this out and then I reopen it, it's going to automatically read the license file, and when I reopen it now, again version 11.6 at the moment, it will now show on the top right hand corner license to Kongs R Us. And so this is how you know that your LaunchBox is now the premium version of it, and when you try to go into Big Box, you'll be able to use this mode. But I'm not going to go into it just yet. I want to go over some file folder structures, and then we'll jump into Big Box. So in this next section, I just want to mention a few folders to pay attention to in your LaunchBox build. The emulators and games folder are the two folders that we added in our LaunchBox setup to be able to have all your emulators set up here, and then all your game files set up in the games folder. This games folder is set up by platform, and so this allows you to easily import games, and this is really critical to showcase what games are tied to, say, the arcade system here. And then in the images and videos folder, the images and videos for those same arcade games are located in the arcade folder and their images and folders as well. So it's really important to set up your LaunchBox build by platforms and get that set up accordingly, so that you can get all the media for these games and make sure your Big Box build pulls from that media. So media is really important to any front end that you use. It's the images and videos associated to each title. If you right click on any of these titles in the edit section, you'll see that the images and videos that you have for the game will be stored here. Normally when you import the game, LaunchBox database ID will assign an ID to it, and that way it'll look up the images and videos that might be in the system. So if you click on download media, it's going to query the LaunchBox games database, and this is the stuff that's already available for this particular game. The video snaps are usually on Emu Movies, so you do need an Emu Movies account to be able to set up and grab the snaps for it. This is going to make sure you have a sample video of the game playing in your big box front end when you're playing it. If you don't have an Emu Movies account, you could always, YouTube and find the videos and download them separately. I'll show you how to upload the video so you can get them attached to your game as well. So once you have your images and videos set up, again, everything that's stored in here, these are different types of images, a box 3D, advertisement front. The most important image type that you'll see here is a clear logo. If you right click on the image itself, you can see these are different categories you can have, but clear logos are PNG files that have a clear background, and this is what's going to show up in your big box build. And then in your folder structure here under LaunchBox, these are going to be in your images folder, whatever platform you have, so TechnoParrot, and then under the clear logo section. So this is really important to know where your clear logos are at so you can upload new ones if you wanted to. You just have to make sure the name of the actual naming convention of this image matches what's on the game's database. That's how it's going to tie that image to this particular title. So make sure you have all your images set up, clear logos for all your games, hopefully some of your platform systems as well. And then let's jump into Big Box so we can see what it looks like. So to get into big box mode, you have a couple options. For your LaunchBox menu here, click on this menu here, and you can click on this big box button. You could also hit the Control B button, that'll launch big box. From your folder structure here, you also see a bigbox.exe. This is useful if you want to set this to auto start up when your computer boots, so that you can run directly into big box without having to launch this LaunchBox interface first. Alright, let's jump into Big Box now. We're going to go into our menu here, click on Big Box. It's going to load up a little splash screen. You can see a little preview of my brand new logo, thanks to EXO, Alex, and appreciate that. You'll see more of that later. And here is our Big Box menu. This is the default theme that you see here that's set up right now by platform. And so not only does media exist for each of the games, but also there's media for the platforms here as well that can be downloaded. And here's an example of what it would look like if you don't have the media for that particular platform. So I have a platform called PC Games, and I also have the platform for the very popular TechnoParrot emulator system. And I don't have a clear logo for this. So you can see here it just shows up in writing, but for all the other platforms that I have here, if you go into that particular platform and click on it, it's going to go into the game. And here's the wheel menu that you would see. You can see the videos playing for each of the games as well. So this is the default theme in Big Box that you would see. But I want to show you a case. If you see again, if you press the back button on your joystick or keyboard, I want to make sure that I have clear logos for everything, including my platforms and my playlist. So let's go back into desktop mode and change these two PC Games and TechnoParrot into a clear logo so you can see how to add a clear logo into your Big Box build. So if you click on escape, it'll go take you to your main menu here, and we're going to go back to desktop mode, and it's going to relaunch LaunchBox. Okay, so if you see on the left here, we have our list of platforms, and so PC Games and TechnoParrot are the ones that didn't have a clear logo. So we're going to go ahead and right click on PC Games, click on Edit, and then you can see here, just like you did with the game's information, you can add an image if you double click on here. So if you double click on this logo, you can go ahead and find whatever image that you want for that PC Games. I downloaded this. It's a PC Arcade Games logo here. And right now it's defaulted set to banner. I want to change that to a clear logo. So if I right click, image type, this is going to be changed to a clear logo. Make sure you hit the OK button, and this is going to move and save this image into that folder setting under platform and images. Same thing with TechnoParrot. If I right click this, click on edit, there's no images here. I'm going to click here, go to my desktop where I have this beautiful TechnoParrot custom image that was made by other than Derek D. Make a right click and image type here to clear logo. and it's going to set this now in the system to that Technoparrot logo in the wheel menu that you saw. So let's jump back into Big Box now that we have our clear logo set for those two images, and you're going to see how to refresh the image cache so that they'll show up. Alright, so we're back in Big Box, and immediately you see that it didn't refresh automatically. It still has the text. So in order to get the new clear logo showing up, you have to back up into your menu, go to Options, go to Image Cache, and refresh all images. So when you do this, or you can refresh platform wheel images, because that's what we were doing, go back into your menu. Hopefully, it may take a while for it to kind of sync up. So PC games, Technoparrot, that didn't work. Let's do it one more time. So Options, Image Cache, Refresh Images. We'll do the refresh platform wheel images just in case, and we'll go back. And now here it is. So now our PC Arcade Games clear logo is showing, and our Technoparrot logo is showing now too. So this is the exact same thing you would do if a game was showing up without a clear logo. You would just make sure you go into that game, make sure there's a clear logo assigned to that particular game, and it'll show up in your wheel. So this is again the default theme. It looks pretty decent, has a wheel, has some box art, has some background images that you can see. This is one way to sort your games, but I want to talk about themes now and different ways you can set up everything in your Big Box setup. Alright, so let's talk about the themes you can set up for Big Box. If you go back into your main menu and start clicking on Manage Themes, the great thing about Big Box is that you have the flexibility to set up any type of theme that you want to. If you're a fan of Coin Ops or Hyperspin, there's a couple of different themes here that emulate the look and feel of that. If you are a RetroPie fan and you like the look of Emulation Station, check it out. There's a theme called Station Emulation that looks very much like the Emulation Station build that you would see on RetroPie as well. So if you're familiar with that setup, you can use that. This unified build by Critical Sid here is another great theme for Hyperspin lovers. You can see it has the beautiful setup in the wheel, and so these are all different themes that you can play with, download, try them out, figure out which works best for you, and I think I love the flexibility that LaunchBox gives you to try out all these different versions. So for me, the theme that I liked using and that I set up my StarCade playlist was Unified Refied. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to install this. If you just select that one, click on the install button, it's going to download the latest version directly from the LaunchBox website. And this is nice that through the Big Box interface, you can download these themes here and it'll automatically download it into your themes folder. You can also go to the LaunchBox forums. There's a great community forum with lots of downloads for not only themes, startup menus, media files. That community is wonderful at making sure that you set up your build as customized as you want it to. So I highly recommend getting an account and getting onto the LaunchBox forums as well, so you can download the media that you want and set up themes that way too. So let's let this finish downloading, and I'll show you what I did with my Unified Refied build. Alright, Unified Refied is done installing, and now that you're here, make sure you go ahead and click on Apply as Main Theme. And so once that's set up, this is what your default view might look like, where it's just a list mode of everything. So you might want to double check it, and this is the Refied background here. Again, it's just a list of your platforms, and when you jump into a list of games here, then you might see the video snaps here, but then just a list of games on your right hand side. So this is a simple way to quickly look at games, but this isn't the potential that this particular theme has. If you go back into your options, manage themes section, go back to your installed unified views section. This is a place where I didn't know this until later on, but the views section is where you want to change your platform to take a look at the different options. So you can see there's a platform wheels view this way, and here's the platform wheel 3 filters view. This is that familiar kind of gray background that I've used for my particular StarCade playlist, and then I'm going to change this from the text list to the vertical wheels game list view. And I'm going to select this one right here, the games list 2, because then I'll have the box art drop down. There's also another vertical wheel games that has the full screen in the background, so you can play around with this and see which one you like. Again, it's the same theme for Unified Refied, but there's different types of views that you can have. So when you go back into your main menu now, this is that classic kind of silver background that I've liked to use for my StarCade playlist build, and then you can see the platforms on the right hand side. you go into one of those menus itself, then you can see the clear logos for each of the games, which looks much better. You can see the box art drop down if you have it, and the video snap on the left hand side. So this is kind of the setup for the theme that I have. But again, right now, this is all set by default to platforms, and this is a nice way to organize a big multi-cade. But I had customized playlists that I created specifically for my Star Wars Arcade mod. So let's go back into LaunchBox and show you how I created custom playlist videos and images and things to get a dedicated playlist just for my Star Wars Arcade 1-Up mod. So now that you've seen Big Box organized by platform, let's talk about playlists. So each of these games, if you right click it, already has some of the genre metadata here. And if you want to, when you import your games, especially main games, it'll actually import and create playlists and then automatically sort your games into those genres. So if you want to use the default stock kind of racing genre games, you can definitely import those playlist settings, and it should match all your games up that way. But if you want to create custom playlists like in my StarCade playlist, all you need to do is find your bunch of games that you have together. These are all racing games here. You can right click them, and then here go to add playlist, select new playlist, and you can type the name of the playlist that you want to in here. You can add the clear logo here. You can add a video path here, and this is going to set up a customized list of games that you want to for your build. So if you go to this section and see what I did, these were the playlists that I made particularly for my Star Wars Arcade 1-Up mod. I have dual stick games, flying games, classic racing games that were non-3D, modern racing games that were kind of more up to date, ride and roll, which are kind of like your crazy taxis and types of games, your ride and shoot playlist with Batman, Stun Runner, Spy Hunters, shooters, which are rail shooters like T2, Aliens, Star Wars games, which is the main reason I did this, and then tank games, since I really like the thought of having tank games on my yoke. So these were the playlists that I created for my own mod. Again, these aren't really common, so hopefully if this is something that you like, again, all you need to do is go to your playlist of games. And so for these 5 games here, these are 5 new games that I added into my playlist, and so I'm going to add these to the Racing Modern section, and this is going to add 5 games to the Racing Modern playlist, and now I've had them added. So this is why I have this as a 1.5 StarCade playlist, because these are newer games here, and now it's been added. Just like the platform, if you right click on a playlist and edit, you can see these clear logos that I custom made for each of these platform games. So these are all handmade in paint, and this is kind of crude photoshopping that I did just to kind of have a customized logo for that. And then I made custom videos using the snaps pretty much of the games that were in that playlist, and under the video section in LaunchBox under playlists, I created these just in a video editing program, and just put together my own MP4 file of all the games, and then just dropped in my clear logo. So these are all custom videos that I made, and then just put them in the videos playlist section, and then here pointed the video path to that same video folder. So for folks that really like that setup, I'm going to share the links to my videos that I made for these playlists, as well as the clear logos, if you like this setup. So you can copy, and if you have these ROMs yourself, you can recreate this playlist on your own. I'll make sure I have a link so that you can see the list of games as well as the playlists that I've set up here. And then when you go into LaunchBox or Big Box, you can see what it looks like. So let's check it out and how to switch over to the playlist mode in Big Box. Alright, so we're back in our Big Box mode. Right now it's defaulted to the platforms mode, but if you hit the escape button here and go into options, you're going to see a views section here, and if you click on this, the default startup view, you can change this to platforms, to play modes, to playlists. So we're going to have a default to playlist moving forward. And then also when you're in this options here, you can change it from view platform categories to view playlists. So let's go ahead and click on view playlist. And now you can see the playlists that I created again. So the genre of categories are going to be on the right hand side. And then the custom video screens that I made for each of these games are showing up here. So this was the customized, StarCade playlist 1.0 look and feel. And so this is how I created my playlist to jump up. And then when you go into a set of games, it's the same look on the back end Now it's sorted by all the racing games in the crosses platform. This is a Model 3 game, this is a Model 2 game, this is a Technoparrot game. So you can have multiple emulators, in a single playlist instead of having it just sorted by category or playlist. So that is my big box build using this. I do want to show you one last thing on how to customize the theme even more, because I love this refried guy, but I didn't really like it for my customized build. So I want to show you where you can edit some of these files to get this even more customized, and I'll share all the links that you need to customize this. Alright, let's talk about editing the theme a little bit more than what you saw by default. So in your LaunchBox folder structure menu, in the themes folder, you're going to see that unified refried folder that you downloaded earlier. And inside, there's a lot of different things you can see here. There's even an upgraded version of unified refried that you can download called Queso Fresco. I'll leave a link to that as well in the description. And then in their images, theme, main menu, and in here, you can see the background settings for the theme for the main menus that you see here. This is that refried logo background guy as well. And you can also see even that silver background. So what I did was I just, looked at this template and, I thought I could make my own versions of it and make it look a little bit cleaner. So I made my own background. I've updated it to StarCade Playlist 1.5, added some nice texture background and a star logo, and then also an upgraded background version to make it look more Star Wars-y, if you will, with the kind of panels here. So this is a upgraded version. So all I'm going to do is just copy this over into this section, replace all the destination files here, and then once we reload up our big box, you'll see this new theme here. So I'll leave a link to this set of images if you like this setup as well. So here is the new big box look as well. Alright, so you can see that I changed the image for everything to make it look more Star Wars-y. So this is just an option for you to do if you want to, if you like this setup. It's just the theme in the background, and then the option menu looks a little bit cleaner than having your refried guy there. There's one last thing I want to show you guys about setting up the intro video. So you saw that big box logo pop up. Let's talk about how to add an intro video. Okay, one of the last little touches you can do is adding a startup video to your big box build. And so there's a lot you can download from the community forums as well. There is this nice Star Wars big box theme that I liked, which is just big box theme in the background in a retro format with some of the Star Wars music in the background as well. So all you need to do is just download that folder file, whatever it is, .mp4 files, and drop it in your LaunchBox videos folder, and just rename that entire file to startup. That's all you need to do. So whatever file name it is, just drop it into the main structure here. And lastly, let's boot up LaunchBox, check out what it looks like. And this is our final StarCade playlist 1.5. Again, I'll leave the links to the videos, the playlist videos, the clear images, and the list of games if you want to copy my build. But this is it, the big box intro here. You can press a button to skip it. And then my new playlist set up here, starting to boot up to the playlist. And when you jump into a set of games, this is what it's going to look like. So this was my full big box tutorial. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, I'll leave links to the videos and playlist description, and hopefully you guys like it. And stay tuned, because I have a brand new version of a playlist, my StarCade playlist 2.0, which is way more improved. Super excited to share it, mostly with clients that I'm working with specifically, but this will be available for anybody that wants to try to mod the Star Wars arcade on their own. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you next time.